What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Delta, bringing you guys a Windows 10 optimization video 2019. I made one of these in 2018, and there was some crucial factors that I left out of the video that I meant to put in, but I completely forgot about. But this is to help you with your optimization and to make sure your computer can run the best possible way that it could. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is right click on the Windows icon in the bottom left and go to power options. Once it brings you into here, you're going to go into additional power settings, and then once you are inside of here, it's usually set to balance and it's not showing any of these extra features. You can go down to show additional power settings, and you can select either high performance, or if you have the option, go to ultimate performance. I personally use high performance most of the time. So once you are done with that, go into change plan settings, go to change advanced power settings, and it's going to pull up this little window. You're going to go into processor performance manager or power management. Make sure that the processor performance core parking is set to 100%. Make sure the minimum processor state is set to 100. Make sure your system cooling policy is set to active and not passive. And make sure your maximum processor state is at 100%. Once you are done with all of that, you can click apply and then OK. And then you are done with this section. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is clean up your hard drive. So go to File Explorer, or you can type it in the little bar. Go to the storage device that has your Windows operating system on it. Right click on it, go to Properties. Then it's gonna pull up this window. You can click Disk Cleanup, and it's gonna scan through all of your files and such. And it's gonna give you all of these options to clean, so I could have 5 megabytes off of my system if I wanted to. And then you could also click clean up system files, but this takes you a long time if you have like big files on here, and it'll take a long time. I did it last night and it took me about 2 hours to delete a file off of my computer, but it does run 10 times better now. So if you don't mind waiting a certain amount of time, you can pause the video and come back when you are done with it. But this is just my suggestion. I personally say do this, but do it when you have a lot of time on your hands. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna click OK. You're gonna ask to delete files. You're gonna say yes, because they're pretty much just temporary files on your computer. You do not need them. Okay, it permanently deleted those files off of my system. So once you're done with that, you're gonna go into Tools, and you're gonna go into Check for Errors. You're gonna scan your computer, see if there's any errors, and then if there are, it will try and fix them on the system itself. And it says your drive has successfully scanned, Windows scanned, there are no errors found. That's always good. And once you're done with that, you can completely close out of the program. It is all set, your hard drive has now been optimized, and it works correctly. So the next step to optimizing your Windows 10 computer is you're going to press the little Windows button and the R key, or you can right click on the Windows button and go to the Run bar. Once it pulls up this, type in TEMP, and that is temp. These are temporary files. I don't have a lot because I recently closed out of all of these and deleted these, but you can Control A and delete. It'll say stuff like this file is being used, blah blah blah. You can just press do this for all current items and press skip, and it's gonna skip over files that I don't need, or that I do need. And see, this one has stayed. So that one's done, and then you can do the same thing and type in %temp%, and it's going to do the exact same thing. These are temporary files that you do not need. Like for example, if there was a Discord crash, I don't really need that on my computer. It's hogging up space that I do not need. But you can do the same thing and type in prefetch, prefetch. And it's going to ask you for permission. You say continue. And these are also temporary files. You're going to go Control A and delete again. And it's going to go through a lot of files. And now it is clean and I do not need these. So once you're done with that, right click on your recycling bin, empty your files, and it's going to delete. So there is about 10 megs being deleted. That's not a whole lot, but you can still use them. As soon as you're done with that, go down to the Windows bar and type in Advanced System Settings. Once you are inside of here, you're gonna go to the Advanced tab and go under Performance and go to Settings. Once you are done with that, usually it's on let Windows choose what's best for my computer. If you want the ultimate performance out of your computer, you're going to want to adjust for best performance, and it's going to untick every single one of these. But in my personal preference and for how long I've been using Windows 10, you don't really need any of these. It's just little pictures. Like for example, it would show like the thumbnails for like the videos, and like say for example my Sony Vegas renders, it would just show like a thumbnail of like a random part in the video. You don't really need those. You can click apply, and then it'll change stuff on your background, and it's gonna flash for a second, and now we're good. Then you can go over to the Advanced tab and go to Change. Usually this is ticked. Untick it, and once you are inside of here, usually none of these are used, or maybe all of these are system managed. Now you really only need one or two of these selected. If you have two drives, for example, like if you have like a hard drive and an SSD, make sure that the SSD is system managed and that the hard drive doesn't need to be system managed. You can just press none on it. I can't change mine for whatever reason. I've tried it. It gives this thing, and it says that something about system errors and blah blah blah. I'm just gonna press no. But you can realistically, you can system manage all of these. Honestly, I'm gonna try it for a little bit. These pretty much just make sure that there are like no errors on the files. So like the file with your operating system on it, for example my C drive, it checks to make sure that there's no errors within the system, to make sure that it doesn't have like random crashes and such. Once you're done with that, press OK, and then press OK again, and then press OK again. The next thing you guys are going to want to do is go on to the NVIDIA drivers page, and I'll leave a link to this in the description. But if you have an NVIDIA graphics card and you are not using it the greatest and you haven't installed any of the drivers, make sure that you install the drivers, because it will make your graphics card perform 10 times better than what it comes when you put in your computer. So you're going to select your product type. I have a GeForce. Select your product series. Mine's a 700 series. And then I have a 750 Ti in my new computer. And then you're going to click search. It's going to search for one, and it's going to give you the GeForce Game Ready driver. You're going to press download, and it's going to ask you if you want GeForce Experience. You are going to press yes, because this next step is going to help you out significantly. We're going to open GeForce Experience, and I'll show you exactly what it does. So once you're inside of here, you will have all of your games and stuff inside of here, and it'll show if you have Shadow Play or not. You can leave it on. It's basically like a flashback recording if you're playing PC games. But you can go over to drivers, and you can check for updates, and it says you have the latest graphics driver, and this will make your computer run 10 times better. And you can actually, if you go over to here, you can optimize all of your games for what your system recommends. I personally don't use them because I like to play within 60 FPS and not have lag at all. So what it did for me is it basically made all of my settings up to the highest because apparently my system can run them at the highest, but it only gives me about 20 to 30 FPS because I don't have the greatest graphics card. So you can do that, and then once you're done with this, you have your graphics driver installed. It might have asked you to restart, but right click on your desktop and go to NVIDIA Control Panel. Once your NVIDIA Control Panel has loaded up, like mine has, it's going to load onto this page. So the first thing you're going to want to do is untick it from Use Advanced 3D Image to Use My Preference Emphasizing. And it's usually set to balanced, but if you move it over to performance, you get more FPS, but it doesn't give you as much quality. And then you'll click apply, and then once you are done with that, you can go back to use advanced 3D images. So it has performance on the higher scale, but it could also give me better quality settings in the 3D settings, which we're going to go over to that to the next part. Click on manage 3D settings, and you can change them for all of your programs that you have within your computer, but I personally don't do that for the most part unless I want like VSync on, which VSync, it caps it at whatever your monitor's refresh rate is. So once you're inside of here, you're gonna go ambient occlusion, you're gonna have off. Anisotropic filtering, you're gonna have off. Anti-aliasing FXAA is going to be set to off. Gamma correction is going to be on. Analyzing mode is off. CUDA GPUs, you're gonna select all. DSR factors, you're gonna have off. Low latency mode, you're gonna have off. OpenGL, you're gonna have auto select. Optimize for computer performance. You're going to want to change this to on. Power management mode, you're going to want to prefer maximum performance. Shader cache on. Texture filtering, anisotropic sample optimization on. Allow for texture filtering, LCO bias. Texture filtering quality, you're going to want to have on high performance. Trilinear optimization, you're going to want to have on. Threaded optimization, you're going to want to have on. Triple buffering off. Vertical sync, you're going to want to have off. And virtual reality pre-rendered frames, I select either 1 or 2 if you have like a slightly bad but okay computer, and if you have like something that's higher end, you could do like 3 or 4 if you wanted to. Once you were done with that, you can press apply, and it might flash your screen for a second, but that's okay. And there you go. And then once you're done with that, you can go over to change resolution, and you can select your monitors. Make sure that your refresh rate is at the highest. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people's refresh rate on 30, and they're wondering why their games look so bad. You can definitely select the highest. It will not make your graphics card work any harder than what it already is. It's just to give it the most performance out of it possible. And you could also do that for your second monitor. And then you can go down to adjust video color settings. It's usually on color, or it's usually on within video player settings. Change it to with NVIDIA settings, go over to advanced, and change it from limited to full. So it'll go from 0 to 255, and it'll look 10 times better, and do the same thing for your second monitor if you have one. And then you can just leave these two alone. Press apply, press yes. Might flash your screen again for a second, but that's okay. And then you are done with the NVIDIA control panel. And then the final thing that I would like to show you guys to optimize your computer is a program called Razer Cortex. Now, Razer Cortex is a game booster that cuts out all of the programs that you are not using at the time. So for example, if you had like OBS open and a game open, it will not close those, but like all these smaller files that you are not using, it will automatically close. And the best part about this is you can sign in with your Google account, and you won't have to actually create a Razer account if you don't want to. So I'm gonna exit out of this. I already have it downloaded over here, but I have it set to minimized. So I'm just gonna click on the game booster. So this is what it is. It's got the game booster. You can select what programs you want to be able to use. and it'll tell you your times played and stuff like that for games like Clone Hero or Minecraft that you don't actually have on Steam. So you can go over to Boost. I'm just going to press restore for the sake of the video, and it says it will automatically boost your game performance when a game is launched. So it'll shut off, it'll enable CPU core, it'll utilize CPU cores and make sure that they're at 100%, game power solutions to high performance, clear unused clipboard, and optimize your memory usage. And then you can select other processes and such like that, and all these services and non-Windows services, but I usually leave those alone, and I had it selected to auto settings. Other than for services, I selected a few that I prefer not to use while gaming. You can press boost now, and it'll show you how much RAM it will clear off of your computer. So I got 208 megs of RAM released from my computer. That's pretty good, actually. That's like a quarter of a stick of RAM, or almost anyways. And then you can go over to System Booster. You can scan. It's gonna scan your computer and make sure that it's not using files that you don't need. And then you can defrag your games, which makes it run better, in my opinion, and you can optimize again. Once you are done with that, you have successfully made your Windows 10 computer a whole lot better, and it's not going to be as sluggish as you remember. So thank you guys for watching today's video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that I make more videos like this to help you guys with your computers, and now that I have a new computer, I can do all sorts of stuff like that, and I can record in a higher quality now. So leave a like for that, and subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody. Have a fantastic day.